Everybody, and welcome back to another fun episode of Undressed with Pol and Patrik and Little Snow White 90210. Hey, you bitches out there.
Hey, Undressed bitches. Before I introduce our stunning, beautiful guest today.
She's a model.
Pol Atteu Boutique.
She's a hottie.
Yes, she is. Can I remind everyone to get your coffee read, because Pol is doing live and virtual coffee reads at polatteu.com. And watch us every Tuesday night. We drop new episodes for Undressed with Pol and Patrik on Apple, Spotify, and you can watch them on YouTube.
iHeart too. It's all over.
It is on iHeart, right?
Yes. We don't even know the platforms that it's on, but it's everywhere.
Anyway,
it's number one still. Thank you, everybody, for your support. Thanks for waking up that dead grandmother and having them subscribe.
Yes.
It's free.
Rate, review, subscribe. I comment back. Some of us do.
You know what? Snow White has been a little under the weather. She hasn't been able to put her paws onto the computer.
Okay, can I introduce our fucking guest?
Well, hurry up already.
All right, we have the beautiful, stunning Kristen Taekman in the studio, Pol Atteu studio today. You guys know her from Real Housewives of New York.
New York.
And now Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip on Peacock.
Legacy.
Legacy.
Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. Legacy.
That's a long
I know.
name for a
So
show.
long. I know. Trust me.
They wanted to get every verbiage from
Totally.
the alphabet in.
Yeah.
So, Kristen, when they first started talking about this RHONY reboot,
Yes.
like 2 years ago, or whatever,
Yes.
were you involved with that before
Well,
they brought all new people on?
I got a call from
Okay.
production. And this is like, you know how everybody talks about the receipts with all these shows. I got a call.
You got a call?
Yeah. Well, they were like, they knew I lived in LA.
Yeah.
So, they had said, do you want to come back for like a party or would you go on a trip? And they were just kind of getting the temperature from everybody. There's only so many girls to pull from.
Right.
Oh.
You know,
Right.
I mean, if you think about it.
I've always been available, but no one's called me yet.
But originally,
York,
before they did the reboot in New York,
Yeah.
weren't they going to bring all of you guys
Yes.
back?
Yeah. Well, I think that's what they were like just testing the waters. Like, would you be interested? What would you be up for? Could you come on a trip? If we had a big party or an event, would you
Whose
kinda,
weave
like,
would you
show
tear
up?
down?
Yeah,
Who would you have sex with?
Yeah.
Who are you going to throw under the bus?
Right.
What kind of
There's
dirt
not that
you
many
got?
weaves in New York.
No, they're
we're
all-
limited
it's
in the
funny.
Dave, that's
weaves.
Atlanta. You're on the wrong time
Wrong
zone.
zip code?
Yes.
Wrong
my
state?
God.
Oh my God, so funny.
Who do you still stay in touch with from RHONY?
Heather, I see Carol every now and again. I mean, I don't not stay in touch with anybody. I just don't live there anymore. So
Right.
it's kind of a bit more limited. But in the Hamptons is where everybody comes out.
Sure.
So that's where we see everybody.
How long ago did you leave New York and come to LA?
In 2020. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
during
COVID hit?
Yes. Yes.
She's like,
Jump
COVID
ship
hit,
in
we got to go to
Yeah,
LA.
yeah, yeah.
Everything's closed in LA. So we should go
yeah.
to LA.
Well, it was open when we got here. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And
Who
then,
makes that kind of a decision, though? How do you pick up an entire husband and kids
Well-
and decide to go all the
Exactly.
way across the country?
We've lived here before. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, where?
Yeah. So we got married in New York.
Okay.
Moved out to LA on a whim. We were here for 5 years. I was in Santa Monica, Venice. So we lived on the walk streets in Venice.
I love that.
Nice.
Had our son here, Santa Monica Hospital. And when
Okay.
he was 2, we moved back to New York
In the freezing
for
cold.
12 plus years.
And you have
yes.
2 kids or
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
2, right?
So my daughter was born in New York.
And then, so how old are your kids now?
Oh, wait. By the way, you need to start drinking
Oh,
your,
yeah. I'm excited
your
about
coffee.
this. And
So
I'm very
but-
nervous somehow. I don't know
Kristen's
why.
going to get
I
a coffee
should.
reading today.
Okay.
But whatever side you start, stay on that side. And
What does that
don't-
mean, side?
So if you hold
if
the right,
you hold it on the
stay
right,
on the
stay
right.
So the
right.
first thing I wanted to do is go like this.
Yes.
Okay, then-
See, everybody wants to drink on my face,
So
Paul.
I just.
You know what, bitch?
So I just.
blow and sip, because it's hot. I just took it off the stove. My little handy dandy Amazon stove. It's on.
Blow and sip.
Yeah.
I don't think she's going to have
gotta
a
go like
problem
this.
with that.
And it's okay if you make a noise. It's really good.
Oh, my God.
I know. Isn't it good?
It is really good.
Right?
Yummy. And I love these cups.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so
I'm on the
excited.
other side.
I feel like I want to interview you.
There's so much
Let's
to
turn
interview.
the table.
We don't have enough
Oh
time.
my God, right?
We don't have enough
my
time.
God.
Oh my gosh, so
Look,
good.
I can tell you one thing.
Yeah, hello.
It has
Four
his name-
tellies.
It has his name before my name, so you need to interview his ass.
Excuse me, bitch. That's because I do produce the show.
What does it matter? I'm the star. And Snow White's name wasn't even on there. It says Patrik Simpson Pol Atteu.
Oh, this is really good coffee.
It is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Armenian cocaine.
Love it.
Yes.
Well, it's got to be something. Armenian.
Exactly.
Put it in the mix.
Oh my gosh.
You guys did something like this on New York.
It wasn't. I think it was the season before me. Actually, I think they
Yeah.
went to Queens. But you were just saying it wasn't.
No, it wasn't Armenian.
Yeah.
I think it's
coffee.
Turkish.
It may have been Turkish.
So.
But the Turkish is very different because
Okay.
they took it from the Armenians because the Armenians, like, Turkey is former Armenia, so I never call
right.
it Turkey.
Right.
I call it former Armenia.
Okay, Paul.
And this was started there.
Okay.
And the Greeks do it, the Armenians do it, the Turkish do it. The Persians have a different way of doing it. So but the process is very different. They don't have you drink the coffee.
Oh.
They just have you tip it over and they put the coffee in there and then they're like, touch it.
That's what they
I'm
saw.
like, what do you
Right.
mean touch
This
it?
way,
Yeah.
when
You
you're
can't just touch
drinking it, your intentions are coming through in the coffee. Because then at
Yeah.
the end, he's going to look at and read your grinds. It's really freaking cool. Although in 20 years we've been together, he's never read my coffee.
What's there to read? It's going to be a divorce if I do read
Oh,
it. 'Cause
stop
I'm like,
it!
what the fuck?
Don't say that.
I can't just tell the truth.
Oh my
Speaking
gosh.
of, how is it that you are one of the few marriages of RHONY that survived?
I know, right? Is that true? Out of all of them? No, you know what? Aviva's still married.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's
But
their
the
second,
majority
it's
of
their
them are
second
all-
marriage,
Oh, it's
but-
their second marriage.
Divorced.
I don't know. I just think like Josh and I have like a strong relationship, you know?
19 years, right?
Married 19, together
That's
22.
because he's not in the industry, probably.
Yeah, totally.
Right?
Yeah,
Because
could
if
be.
he was in the industry, you'd be competing for who's looking better in the mirror.
Okay.
You can sip it. You don't have to keep drinking your bit. It's good. You can
Don't
sip throughout.
rush
It's all good.
Ooh.
But the
Oh,
thing,
you're just saying that.
No.
is she still letting you drink more? Or she's good.
No.
Okay.
She just chugged it.
I always
She's a New
chug the
Yorker.
coffee.
She just chugged it.
She just chugged it. She's like, 3 seconds. I'm into this. I want to know what the hell he's about to say.
But
Okay,
at the end
so-
of our show, we're going to read your coffee.
We have to
Oh,
let
I
her
have to
read it.
wait?
Yes.
Well, bitch, there's so much info to extract from you, so you gotta wait.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm excited to see.
So
about
one
this.
thing
Okay.
I was watching on Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, and I
Yes.
want to ask you about, is because all these women were attacking you and your husband about the Ashley Madison
Yes.
bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah, what is
And
that
these women are
about?
all fucking divorced. So how are they attacking your marriage?
I mean, honestly, there was nothing else to talk about apparently, right?
But
mean-
what was the whole idea? Like, oh, how do you feel? And what do you think? And
Yeah,
I'm like,
I
well, how
think-
do you think I feel, bitch?
Yeah. And I mean, people are forgetting that happened 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, it's not, I've dealt with it. We've moved on. I mean, it's been a very long time. Every marriage has their thing. It's
Sure.
really none of anybody's business. I'm still happily married.
That's
You know,
great.
I think for me, it was just really hard because it really came off. When I was in it, I didn't realize, my God, I was getting attacked. Do
Right.
you know how many friends called me? I mean, you just said it. You're like,
Yeah.
how are you guys
Yeah.
upset with me for working through something that was really hard,
Yeah.
whatever it was? You know what I'm saying?
I felt bad for you watching it. I was like, are these bitches going to shut up? They
I
kept
know.
going on and on.
like
and
kept going. You're like, oh my gosh! Like,
I
and-
think their point was the fact that if you're a woman and if something like this happens
Right,
to you,
right.
how could you stand by your man or consider yourself a good female
Right.
as an example to the rest of us? And I thought to myself, you know what,
Yeah.
bitch?
Yeah.
I think she's a better female than you can be because you're blowing and
Right.
going from every single guy because you're only seeing it from one side.
Yeah.
You're not valuing a family. You're not evaluating a scenario. You're not evaluating it on its own merits.
Right.
And the love and respect you have for each other.
And I have said from day one, I know my truth. I know my truth in my relationship. I know my
Right.
truth in my man, and that is none of anybody's business.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
they don't actually know what really happened.
course
I
not.
can keep telling them, and they're not listening.
Can you
to
tell
me.
us what happened?
No, he genuinely went on a website with a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
And it's like,
But
sounds,
they made it like he was
it
looking
sounds
for
absolutely
dating.
ridiculous.
And,
It is what it is. Yes, like he shouldn't have done that. He did. And honestly, if I wasn't on TV, it would have not even have been a blip on my radar screen. But it gets picked up by all these news outlets.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
this ginormous thing. I'm not going to name names, but there was other celebrities whose husbands who went on. I'm not saying anything. You guys can look it up. I'm not going there.
No, but babe, look at, I mean.
But it's like, to me, it's like looking at porn magazine, or it's like,
Yeah.
seeing, it's like you have single friends and they show you freaking dick pics,
Right.
and you're like, oh girl, let me see the
They
thread,
send it
and
to
then
my
it's like,
husband all day.
Right?
And then they send
They
me a
do.
note going, I'm sorry I didn't send one to you. I sent it to your husband. I'm like, could you just send me the picture?
but does he share the dick pics? I hope.
I do. I don't know why,
I
but
don't
you
even
know.
want to see
my
it. While I'm
God.
driving, I'm like,
Oh my God.
I have
Yeah.
eye rolls for it.
Oh my God.
How was it filming in St. Bart's? That was the same
Yeah.
place you were in RHONY, right? In the original?
I wasn't on that season. I
Okay.
went to Turks and Caicos, but I was in St. Bart's 3 times last year. Went to St.
good
Bart's
job.
for my honeymoon.
Okay.
And hadn't been back since.
Wow.
Oh.
So 19 years. I had
Nice.
not been in St. Bart. And then last year, randomly, we had a friend's 50th in February. Then I get the call saying like, oh, we're going back. They're filming in
yeah.
St. Bart. I was like, I got my suitcase out. There was still sand
I
in it.
got-
I was like, woo,
I got
I am
my
ready.
bikini. I'm
I
ready
was
to
like,
go.
my rack was already full. Like I barely had to buy anything. I was like, this is amazing. All the new clothes I
How
just
many
got for
days?
the February trip. 7.
That's it?
Yeah.
They
seems
dragged that out
short.
along for, are
That
you like
seems
filming
short.
continuously?
That is
Like
plenty
24
of
hours
time.
a day?
Yeah,
Well, 'cause
it's
you
like
guys
Big
were
Brother
living together.
style. It's like
Yeah.
people don't realize like that's the whole thing. I much prefer the Ultimate Girls Trip. I think that they should just do away with all the other franchises,
Right.
Like
and
the
just
3
put everybody on
months of-
vacation. Yeah. It's
Well,
too
wait, did you
much.
guys have like all the cameras? The
Everywhere.
whole house was all
They
cameras?
wire the whole house. It's like Big Brother,
Hold on.
right?
So
Basically.
your bedroom,
Yeah.
your
The
room
suite that
Yeah.
you're in, yeah.
is not.
It doesn't have a camera.
They'll put microphones and cameras in once you give the approval, like you're up for the day.
Okay.
But then no, it powers down.
Oh, that's why Luann was able to fuck the chef and nobody knew.
But the cameras outside her room picked it up. And did you see? You didn't see it yet.
No,
but did you
not
see
yet.
it? She put a freaking towel. She knew where the camera was up on
So
the
she
corner.
put a towel on the
She
camera.
put a towel on the camera, and then
So Mission
and then the
Impossible.
what do they call it? What is it called? Not Studio City, but like radio. What do they call it? Like
Video
Video Village.
Video Village,
Yeah.
and we're sitting there.
Video Village had a remote control, and they were like
Zooming in and zooming out?
No, so that the camera would move, and then they shook
Oh,
the
they were
towel
sh-
off, and then he comes out
I
naked
love
and he
it.
gets a drink because her villa was here and mine was right underneath,
Yeah.
and hers had like a kitchen on it. So he came out, knew where
Naked?
everything was, naked,
Full frontal?
full frontal.
Oh my God, I want to see
Got
this.
a drink out of the refrigerator
Because he was thirsty.
Good for him.
He was,
So
she
funny.
dehydrated
Yeah.
him.
Oh my God! Can I just tell you, go Luann. Like she
Go
is
Luann.
a
Beautiful,
rock
though.
star. Somebody had to get laid. So
I agree.
and like they
Right?
all agree. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
And
she's
I-
been through so much.
Yeah.
I mean, she's come a long way to be able to find herself.
Oh my God. She's a
and
rock
be
star.
who she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then go, you know what? Fuck all you
Yes,
bitches.
I love how
Totally.
she's
I'm
hung on
happy.
to Countess all these years. She has not given that up.
I know.
Well, she's a countess.
Okay,
I know. I
yeah,
mean, you
Paul.
wouldn't either.
No.
I would keep that as forever.
You said you were going to buy a little piece of
I
land in
was.
Scotland so we could be
No,
lords.
we weren't going to buy it. We were offered it in Ireland.
Ooh.
Yeah, they said, we're going to give you this patch of land. Your name
That's
goes
true.
on it on a plaque, and then you get to own. I said, this is it? There's like 1,000
Yeah.
acres here, bitch.
Oh my God.
I need a little more than
my
that to be
God.
able to carry the fucking title.
You literally own like a
Little piece of land.
piece of land, but you can officially be a lord.
Seriously?
Yes.
Wow.
We went to Ireland to Ballick Castle in Mayo, Ireland, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
The room that they
Yeah.
gave us overlooked an entire 1,000
It's amazing.
acres of green.
Have you been to
lush,
Ireland?
Beautiful
Yeah.
green.
It's stunning,
Yeah,
it
right?
was, it was amazing.
Yeah.
And he had
Yeah.
22 people waiting on him.
I did.
all day.
Wow.
We were the only ones there at the castle.
Wow.
I can say there was a lot that happened at the castle. Wasn't like St. Bart's.
Oh my
Well,
It
God.
was beyond.
Oh my God.
Is there anyone that you would not ever film with again? From the
No.
cast?
No.
You get along with all of them?
I do. I mean,
She's Switzerland.
Define get along.
Right.
I mean, you know.
Well,
It's kind of like you guys tear each other up, and then
But we didn't. I don't think that's the thing. I think that's great about the OG New
Yeah.
York girls is that we don't tear each other apart. It's like not ever really below the belt. It's like it's all just not surface. I mean, it's deep stuff, but it's like it's just like gentle.
I think it's like,
some of these
mean
other
fun, but
shows-
not like nasty mean girl
Exactly.
fun.
Yes. And
Because
it's
the
not-
way the franchises are, those girls, they're awful to each other.
I mean, it's like really kind of everything needs to just like everything needs a pause.
Yes.
And
Well,
like a little bit of a reboot.
I feel like every single person that signs up for the show thinks that they have to bring a lot of that drama in order for them to stay there.
Yeah.
And they lose a lot of themselves
Yeah.
and the individual that they are, that they brought to the table to begin with.
Yeah.
And they become somebody different
Yeah,
than what they thought
100%.
that they should be.
Okay, I was watching Beverly Hills this weekend.
Yeah.
So okay,
Don't you
I'm,
love those bitches?
Oh my God! But I'm the super super fan, as you know.
Yes.
Like, in the show, they call me the super fan, and it's like enough. But I'm kind of like embracing it now. I'm like, God, maybe I am a super fan. I don't really care.
Well, you're
like,
in
love
LA
it.
now, so it's different.
He
my
did
God.
Anne-Marie Wiley's chapter dress.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
this
every time
season.
she shows up,
Yeah.
then that's
Yep.
my dress that you see,
funny.
and that's the best dress on all the chapters.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, she's
So tell us,
just
you were
great.
watching Housewives.
No, so it's funny. I was like, what happened to like, it doesn't matter. One of the girls went over to one other girl's house,
Yeah.
and they were just sitting there, like having a chat, and they had full hair and makeup.
I
Like they
know.
had just gotten off of a red carpet.
Yep.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, how do you even keep up with that? That's crazy.
Right.
Honey, hello. I rolled out of bed looking like this
my
this
God.
morning.
Hello.
What do you think? You think I got up and got ready for you? Honey?
No, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it's like
But
it's
New
like
York,
nuts.
I don't think it's
And
never
you-
been known for that.
No, well, it's funny because I went on my first season and I came in as like my model self. I was like, okay,
course.
you mean to tell me if I get booked for a job, I've got somebody doing my hair, somebody doing my makeup for a modeling job.
Yeah, yeah,
somebody, they've got a
You
whole
show up in
thing
your
of clothes.
PJs.
I was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm not going down like that. So I hired hair and makeup on retainer.
Okay.
Nice.
And then
Smart.
I started showing up with full hair and makeup, and then everybody kind of was like, "Oh shit," you know.
Yeah.
And then like kind of, I'm not saying I started it, but I'm just
You
saying
did.
like
Right.
a little bit. But here's the thing: so you have 8+ years, 10 years go by, and
Yep.
that wasn't really my jam. And then all of a sudden you're back. First thing I think, okay, great, I'm going on this trip. What do you think we all asked production? First thing,
Hair and makeup.
and guess what?
No.
Hair and makeup.
really?
On the ultimate girls trip, you have to do your own hair and makeup.
Yeah,
What?
but you were even in St. Bart's. It's
I
like,
know.
how do you like,
You
makeup's
can't even
gonna
hire a
run.
glam team on your own?
Okay, so apparently
There's no
they're
place
like,
for 'em.
apparently glam is the one who spills the beans on everything. So
Yes.
they really try and hone it in
Ah.
on these trips
I
because
didn't
it's
know
a
that.
short trip. You're a local person. You're like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
You're showing
You got
picture.
TMZ outside the door.
They said that's
Oh, by
happened.
the way, if you see them drive by, I call them. Because they drive by the store all
Oh,
the
that's
time.
so funny. I
I'm
love
like, there's a hottie in here. Hello,
We,
everybody.
you know, true story. We learned from the best, Anna Nicole Smith. You know, she's our best friend. We wrote the
Wow,
book.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and she's buried in
now
Paul's
I'm
gown.
remembering.
And we were on,
we
her,
were on
show.
her show.
Her first reality show we were
That's
on.
I gotta go back in the archives
Yeah.
for that.
All the
Yeah.
DVD covers,
It's
all that stuff.
coming
It's all my
So
gowns.
before
Back to
Kardashians,
me.
before Housewives,
Yeah.
any of them was Anna Nicole show.
Oh, she's
and she
amazing.
used to call she had the paparazzi.
Yeah.
She's the one that invented
Ah.
that whole thing of
Yeah.
bringing the paparazzi of where she's going to be.
Where do you think we learned?
to get the right
Wow.
photos?
She's in the house, bitches.
Oh my God, so funny. But you know what, though? I think it needs to come back full circle. My point is
Yeah.
that I thought that's what I needed.
Yeah.
And let's be clear. All of us women, we all were like no makeup or a little bit of makeup or kind of like wing it and did our own. They let us have a hair person a couple nights. So I had like 2 nights. One night I liked it. One night I didn't. I could have done my own.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. But the point is like, I don't know. Like, I want to see a little bit more natural. All those women can totally do their hair and makeup on point.
their
They
own,
do
of
not.
course.
It's
I don't
funny
think,
to
I don't think
me-
you need lashes to go
No.
over somebody's house
No.
to have a.
No.
a-
But
a
everybody's trying to be
coffee.
a
It's funny to me
Kardashian.
when they show them now waking up in the morning with full
know.
lashes,
I know.
hair done,
I know.
lipstick on. I'm like, who
Yeah.
the fuck wakes up like that?
I know.
I do.
I know.
I don't want you to have to divorce me when you see the real me in the
No.
middle of the
Stop
night
it.
and be afraid,
My husband makes fun of me
for
'cause
your life.
Yeah,
He gets dressed
funny.
to come to the bedroom.
I do. I have to.
He
I
totally-
accessorize for bed and everything because
Accessorize. Like you're
I
not
love it. Why
dog
not?
tags and all. Like he's full, like, matching everything.
Yeah, I have
I'm like,
to.
where are you going? Like, are you going to skip out on me in the middle of the night?
Oh
and I
my
don't know
God,
about you.
where
Going
are
a
you
hot
going?
date? Where are you going?
he's like,
I'm like, you're coming to bed. It's going to be coming off. Don't worry about it.
Oh my God, how funny.
He's like, but if something happens in the middle of the night and that would be the last time,
I want to look good.
I want to look good.
Oh my God, you are so funny. That's crazy.
I'm like, so the first thing I would be doing if anything ever happened to him is put him in order first. And I'd be like, okay, let me fix him.
Oh my
Let me gel his hair again, just right. And then,
Baby.
911, I have an emergency. Like,
Oh my
seriously?
God.
That's what I would be thinking about.
Jeez, I can't believe you think that way.
I know. I do. It's great. I've always felt.
But
that way.
he was a Versace model.
I was.
So
Yeah.
he's been up and down the runways in Paris and Italy,
I
all over
opened
the world.
Gianni Versace's one of his very first fashion shows, Creative Colors.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you were a model.
Yes.
So you
Still
started
am.
when
I had
you
a
were
job yesterday.
14?
Still going strong. Yeah.
And how did you get discovered as a model? I mean, you're gorgeous. I could see why.
It wasn't really discovered. It was like one of those things where it was like I had a lot of family members saying, "Oh, you should model." Or you go somewhere, "Oh, you should model." You know how people say that when
Sure.
they're little and stuff.
Nobody said it to me.
But you traveled, but you went overseas.
Well, I'm from Connecticut, so I got placed in an agency. Well, we ended up going, there was like an article in the newspaper and it was like, "Oh, be a model." And this was like in the, early 90s.
Yeah.
A newspaper. I wasn't even born yet because I don't know.
Shut
I'm
up,
like
bitch.
digital.
We know that's not true.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Newspaper. What is that? Is that arcade? What is that?
So
Oh,
my
shut
mom was
up.
like, okay, so they're doing this like model scout at this like local hotel ballroom, whatever. So she's like, "Listen, let's go and see what they say. And if you make it to the next level, then I'll really try and research."
figure
But
it
my
out.
mom knew, she knew enough to be like, "I'm not going to," because, you get to the next level and they're like, "Oh, pay $1,000 for pictures." And my mom was like, "Okay,
Yeah.
like I know that's a scam, but anyway." So she found me a local modeling agency. Do you guys remember John Casablancas?
Hello.
He
Yeah,
was the
of
owner.
course.
Yeah,
I do
so-
remember. I was with Glamour.
Okay, nice.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
What,
I
so-
was with nobody. I was still in Kuwait.
and then I modeled in Japan.
You did?
In Osaka and Tokyo.
Wow, that's cool.
And I lived in New York for a little bit and worked with them.
Yeah.
John Casablancas, interesting because I'm
Yeah.
going to ask you about this
Yeah,
because
well, so John Casablancas, they had school franchises.
Right.
So there was a local
but then they had
Hartford
Elite,
school.
the modeling agency.
And so then I got like, I won my local, I didn't go to the big look of the year, but I won my local Connecticut one.
Okay.
Anyway, and then I got placed with Elite in New York and then Elite in Milan.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you probably
And
know
then
Karen
Elite,
Lee.
yeah.
She was very she's a very good friend of ours. Karen
Yeah,
Lee.
oh, yeah, totally.
She ran all of them
Yeah.
forever
Yeah.
for the longest
Can
time.
somebody
So good.
call me for a modeling gig, please? Because I'm really feeling inferior next to these two bitches right there.
We did book that TV show.
Ooh.
February 4th, we're shooting it. And you're playing my model in the show.
I know that's my first
I'm
modeling gig.
a gay arms dealer, and he plays my model. I
And I
snap
got-
my fingers, and he comes in models' outfits
It
that match the arms.
It happens at home all day long.
Oh my
So
God, you're
snaps his
so
fingers and I show up.
How did you?
How'd you find your husband?
We
I'm
met in New York.
curious.
Oh,
Yeah. How'd you find your husband?
Ugh, it was a dark alley. Let me tell you. In New York.
Mine was a dark nightclub.
we met in New York too.
How fun.
Yeah,
New
at
York
a
has a
photographer
special place
friend's
in my
place.
heart.
Yeah.
We met in New York.
I love that.
If I told you how we met, it was one of those times when I used to do Bryant Park Fashion Week with Mercedes-Benz.
Every year.
I wasn't a model. I was always a designer
Yeah,
doing
which is
all
great.
the collections.
I think that's so much better.
So when I did that, I ended up staying at my friend's home, Loft, which is at Fifth Avenue, and he's a famous fashion photographer. And they used to be friends for a long time before them because fashion photographer, model,
of
they do
course.
pictures all day,
Yeah.
naked, hanging from chandeliers,
Yeah.
Well.
whatever. So when I stayed with him, I was doing a bunch of interviews for Style, all the different networks with my inspiration, the colors, the palette, moving forward in the season.
Yep.
He showed up.
Oh, wow.
And of course, we're doing a photo shoot at the same time. There's all these sexy models in New York, Chinese food, cocaine, Italian food. They're naked, boys, girls, dinglings, boobs. It's
All of
like
it.
a madhouse it's New York
Yeah.
in the middle of Fashion Week, and it's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he walked in with a suit, a tie, and a trench coat.
Wow.
And I thought to myself, who the
Suspenders back then. That was hot.
I'm like, who
Ooh.
the fuck is that guy?
Ooh.
I turned into a babbling buffoon. I couldn't
I
even,
love
I couldn't
that.
even continue any more. I didn't even know I was there for a collection.
That's so
I'm like, what are you
sweet.
talking about?
Yeah.
What was I here for? I have no idea.
And we've been together 20 years.
Yeah, I ignored him for a good hour and a half.
Yeah, that's the best way to
until he grabbed me, pushed me against the wall, gave me a kiss, and I thought to myself, is this what heaven is like? Something happened. I thought,
Back then, you could do that safely.
do it. Yeah, exactly. Totally.
I was like, I welcomed that. But then when I got my senses back, I walked out of that bathroom. Nothing else
Oh,
happened.
it was a bathroom.
Listen,
You forgot to mention that.
Oh, well, yeah, it looked like a jungle.
It was a
whole
set. Everywhere was
It
a set. It was
Oh.
really cool.
He
Yeah.
wanted some privacy because all the other bitches were outside. He wasn't
Okay.
sure if I was not going to be like going with one of the other ones.
Yeah.
But after we came, I got my senses and I came out and I'm like, he goes, let's go hang out in New York City. It's like 1 a.m. I'm like, I'm not going anywhere with you, bitch. You already took advantage of me in the bathroom. I don't think so. We are going nowhere.
And we did.
Do you want me to tell you how I said yes?
To what part?
Well,
To
when he said,
hanging out, not
Well,
sex.
because he
That
said-
came later.
because he said, let's go hang out. I go, I'm not going anywhere with you until you tell me where you're staying.
Oh.
And he goes, what does it matter? We're not going to go to the hotel.
Right.
I said, it doesn't matter. You could be an axe murderer. I don't know. What if something happens?
I'm
to
like,
me?
I'm
I
not
wanna
an axe
know.
murderer.
He goes, but we're not going to go back to the hotel. And I'm not. I said, I'm not going to believe you. You just shoved me into the bathroom and gave me the best kiss of my life. Like, that's not going to happen. Like, I'm not going to fall. Does
Yeah,
that
yeah.
make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to just follow my feelings and emotions. And then I was like, I was going to go even if it was Motel 6.
yeah.
Trust
Oh
me,
my
I was like
God,
ready to
it's
go.
Of
But I
course
was
he
trying
was.
to like at least justify it to
together.
myself in case I ended up on the sidewalk somewhere.
Yes.
Oh my God.
He goes, I'm staying at the Waldorf. And he thought,
Impressive, yeah?
Yeah. Hello.
Not this bitch.
well, he thought that I was going to be so giddy about it. I'm like, oh my God, oh please, let's go. And I was like, are you in the regular section or in the towers?
Oh my God. You did not say that.
Is that a bitch or what?
That's a bitch.
But I mean, wouldn't you ask?
Oh my God. No.
I mean, the regular section you can get a Groupon for these
Oh
days.
my God,
You can't
these
get them in the
days.
tower.
I don't know
Back then,
about
there
that.
was no Groupon.
No. Yeah, back then, no. Yes, maybe now. But
I know, right? So I told him, and then but at that point, I'll tell you something. There was a switch in him that I think he always had that flipped up. And he was so interested and committed. He goes, I have a 1-bedroom suite with my own key card and a butler. Would
He's
you-
like, where do you want to go?
Would you like to? But he asked.
I
he
did.
goes, would you like to go? I said, sure, let's go. Because I wanted him not to think that it was just frivolous and that, you know, just because I'm staying at the Waldorf, like, oh, look
Yeah.
at me. I got BDE. I can go anywhere. I'm
my
like, no,
God.
bitch. Hold your horses. I'm from Beverly Hills.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
trump
yeah.
anything.
Yeah, that's true.
And Kristen, when you met your husband, what was your first
Yeah.
date like?
Nightclub. Tell me.
Oh my God. No, it was
Smoky,
like, no,
hot.
it was actually a concert and we had mutual friends and I'd seen him around quite a bit. But it
Okay.
was like, for me, I think relationships have to be just easy,
Organic.
organic,
Yeah.
natural.
Effortless.
You know, it's like one of those things where I'd been dating and it was always a struggle. It's like, do I call? Is he going to call?
Right.
Oh, I hate that.
I hate blah, blah, blah. You know, it's like it was like always like so hard.
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
with Josh, it was just easy. It was like, oh my gosh, like he just picked up the phone and he picked up the phone and called and I picked up the call. And then it was like, you know, like, hey, what are you doing tonight? It's like, oh my gosh, I'm available. Is that weird that I can like, okay, great. And it was like, it was just effortless and natural. And for us too, it's really about family.
Yeah.
Yeah,
His
yeah.
parents are
But the
still together
relationship.
and he has siblings. My parents are still together. I have a sibling. It's like, you know, my mom always told me, it's like, I remember dating people and she'd be like, I don't know. Their parents aren't together anymore and they don't have brother or
Right.
sister. And not that that would have been a deal breaker, but
Yeah.
there's something to be said for like those roots and that foundation. And I truly think that's what kind of keeps you
Were you
alive.
raised Catholic?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Really?
I was an altar boy.
Oh my God. How
Yeah,
funny.
my
Like, where
parents-
did that come from? The religion?
Because you said about the family
family.
values, that was
Yeah.
very instilled by
Oh,
my
interesting.
parents as well.
Oh my God. So but it's not even like my parents instilled that in me, but like, I don't know. I
But
just,
because you grow up in the
But
oh,
you're
because
in
maybe
it.
my mom.
Yeah, because my
yeah.
parents were married. My mom
Yeah.
died a year and a half ago, but they were
sorry.
married 65 years
Wow.
before.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he
yeah.
took care of her.
Sweethearts.
to
Yeah.
the
like
end.
they just.
Yeah, I love that. That's
Yeah.
sweet. Yeah, yeah.
But would you have been with them otherwise anyway? Of course you would have. If
Yeah.
he was at Motel 6, I was going to go
Of
with
course,
him.
of
There's a
course.
I don't know
connection
about
that
that.
you can't deny.
Yes.
But I think the problem becomes when you start playing games or you've got to do that for me.
Yeah.
It's my responsibility. I should do that for you.
Yeah.
That's when the breakdown starts happening.
Yeah.
You need to just let it go. I think you were
Yeah.
perfect in what you did because it
Totally.
was almost like, he called. Oh,
Yeah, there's
hey,
no rules.
hey.
It's like, it's
Yeah.
just, and I say that to people all the time. You know, it's like, oh, blah, 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 what, or when I'm dating, or I remember like after Josh and I like got engaged or whatever. Oh, well, how did that happen? And you're like, it just like no games. Like just,
Right.
it's like you pick up the phone or you don't, or, yes or no, or just like, oh, cut all the shit. Life
Did
is
you
too
have a big
short.
wedding?
Yeah.
250 people.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah,
size.
I wasn't
Florida.
invited.
It was a long
know.
time ago.
Yeah.
Now, was
that's
he doing
true.
e-boost then or no?
No, no, he had a marketing company.
So how did he get e-boost? Because I love it.
I should have brought you some. He's gonna kill
I
me.
love it. Oh my God. I get it all the
Yeah,
time. I
yeah.
love e-boost. Bring some next time.
I
you
will,
come.
I will.
Definitely. How does he
Yeah.
discover e-boost or like?
There was like at the time there was like a void in the market, and he just like everybody was drinking all the other stuff, and they still are with all the
Like
bad
Gatorade or
ingredients.
whatever?
No, just like the Red Bulls and all
Oh,
that.
the
with
Red Bulls.
Right. It has
they just
sugar.
weren't-
All those have sugar in
and
them.
it has all the other stuff that's not great for you.
Right.
So this was just a natural product. Yeah.
That's very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
I've given you e-boost. You
Yeah.
like
I
it.
know.
Energy,
I
immunity,
like
wellness,
because I
yeah.
don't drink any of that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I
So-
do like my coffee though. So.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
So I have another thing I want to ask you
Yeah.
about modeling, and especially with John Casablancas.
Yeah.
How long were you with the elite part of it, or
Yeah.
just okay?
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
how did you? Because remember, we have several friends that
That's what I need. I
would
haven't
go.
said anything to
they would
her.
send them over to the Saudi princes. How did you escape
Yeah.
the Saudi prince parties?
I think it goes back to those roots of like,
Yeah.
I just, I don't know, it's weird, right?
Were you ever offered to go
No.
over for?
No,
Oh, okay.
No. I think I just was a working girl too. Like I worked.
Yeah.
So I think maybe I didn't need
She
to go.
knew-
I
she
didn't need to
knew-
go over there. I was always booked, so I didn't have
She
time to
knew
go
when
over.
there was a party in Saudi Arabia. I
Yeah.
have another job
Yeah.
tomorrow.
What were your biggest campaigns that you did?
I've always been like a slow and steady wins the race
But
kind
you
of
were
a
an
girl
Australian
in
Vogue,
everything in
right?
my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did some
That's
Australian
kinda
Vogue.
cool.
That was my only Vogue I did. Yeah. I had a
Okay,
couple
but
pictures.
hey.
I've done L'Officiel.
Yes, you have.
Oh, I
Town
love
and
it.
Country.
It's so good.
Oh, so many.
Yeah. I did like a Budweiser campaign once, which
Oh
I
my
thought was
God,
really
how
fun.
cool
So
is
like
that?
I had a cardboard cutout, which was fun.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
in like the
Cute,
liquor stores?
Yes, which is like
Oh my
You were the
God.
liquor store.
You have to send me a picture
Oh
of
my
that.
God, it's in my parents' attic. It's so funny. Every time I go up there to like grab something, I'm like,
Right.
It's so funny. That
Because
was
they
a
were like the
great
life-size ones in front of the.
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
You know what I
that's
mean?
funny.
Like it was like the Memorial
Yeah.
Day weekend thing.
Wait,
But
but
how
did you
old
do
were
ones
you
with
when
the
you did
cars
it?
with the bikini?
no
No.
cars and bikinis.
But how old were you
That
when you
would've
did the
been
Budweiser?
Probably like 21.
Oh, so you weren't even
22.
25 to.
No.
Interesting.
Well, you
have
yeah,
to
be
you have to be
25.
25 to do liquor and alcohol now. Yeah.
Oh, now
You
you
do?
do? Oh,
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't
definitely
know
wasn't
that.
25,
Well,
yeah.
we took Snow White on her 21st birthday. We took her to Vegas. She got a wing card.
she did.
Honey, how do you not take her
I
to
know.
Vegas? She needed to go to Vegas and start gambling.
Oh my God,
Needed
so
to teach her the ropes.
fun.
Would you
Was
let
on
your
Wheel of
daughter
Fortune.
She does. Both my
She
kids
does?
model.
Okay, both of
They've
them.
both done like, oh my gosh, my son got the 2020 Zara campaign. So
Oh!
it was
that's so
like, it
And
was
then it was-
amazing, but everything shut down.
Right.
And like
right.
he was in the stores and it was like,
No
Oh, but the stores are closed.
way.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, he got
That's
paid,
awful.
and his picture's still on there, so they could
Exactly,
reuse
yeah.
it.
How old
And-
are they now, the kids?
he's 15, she's 11, and she does she does Gap quite a bit, which is kind
Okay.
of fun, which is so great.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like gorgeous. Like
Do you
know,
get
like-
clothes?
no,
They don't
ever
give
get
you
clothes.
anything? They
don't give you shit. Are you kidding? They don't even give
a
you a
lot of times
percentage.
it's samples.
Why? Renee Taylor takes them
She
all off
steals
set.
it every time. Paul.
That's not called stealing. It's called collectomaniac. Like
Oh my
me.
God.
That's
how
what you
She
do,
just
Paul.
collects it.
Oh my God.
I mean, we were on set with her, and she's like, "Oh, I like that. I like that." Paul, put it in the bag. I'm
Oh
like,
my
"Are we not
God.
supposed to return this?"
Oh
And she's
my
like,
God.
"No."
Oh wow.
I'm not done wearing it. We never
Okay.
got to use it.
I didn't get that memo.
I want to ask you about two cast members,
Yes.
Dorinda Medley.
Yes.
Oh.
Is she not a shit stir? Like,
I don't think she is intentionally. I gotta tell you, her freaking one-liners, the stuff that comes out of her
Funny.
mouth, it's like gold.
right.
Like you're like, I don't get. Like at the time, you're like, wait a minute, that was directed towards me. Am I the pigeon or am I the eagle? You're like, I think I was the pigeon. That's fucked up. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. Like literally, like stuff that comes out of her mouth, you just gotta write it down because it's so good.
She's funny. She's
Yeah.
very, very funny.
And you see, like we start off on a weird point, but
Yeah.
then she ends up having my back. So I love her.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
Brandi Glanville.
Yes.
We freaking love her. Like,
She's so authentic.
We
how
just had dinner
long
the
have
other
you
night.
known Brandi?
Since before Josh.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, you guys modeled together, probably.
No, we have another mutual friend, and we met in New York, and Brandi was planning her wedding,
Oh.
and my girlfriend
To
was-
Eddie.
Yes.
Okay.
And my girlfriend was in her wedding, and so
Oh.
we were all in New York together, and it was like this one girl was my best girlfriend and her best girlfriend.
Oh, wow.
And so but Brandi was in LA, and I was in New York with this other girl, and then
Right.
so it was like we met. And it was so funny because I don't know if you feel this way about blondes, but at the time when you're a model, you don't really have any blonde friends, and it's just because you're
No,
not
because they all think
ever-
they're going to take your job or they're
Yes,
going to.
and it's like if I'm for 20 years, like I'm on set with somebody. Even yesterday, I was with a brunette. Like you don't ever book two blondes or two brunettes
Together.
Right.
Oh, wow.
So it's like it just so happens that like all my fabulous friends are brunette.
Brunette,
you know,
yeah,
like mess with
yeah.
another blonde.
course.
And so it was like funny because Brandy and I were like,
Let me assess this scenario.
Yeah.
Is this going to be a bitch
but
or is
she
this
was
going to be a
also
friend?
like planning her fabulous wedding, and so it's like so funny. But anyway, the invites were already sent. And this girlfriend of mine was single at the time. And so she's like, well, Brandy's like, well, just go with her. And I was like, okay, great.
Yeah.
So best time, amazing. And Brandi was the one who was like, she like came back from a honeymoon. And like at the time, Eddie had a show in New York. And she was like, okay, Kristen, what's going on with the dating? And I'd be like, well, nothing. She'd be like, and at the time it was like, there wasn't like, Eddie, you have to like go out.
Right.
And she's like, have you been out? No. Kristen, you're not going to meet anybody. You're sitting home.
That's
and then it was
funny.
like, so it was just funny. So, but she's amazing. She like, when you say ride or die, we had been friends for a very long time. I love her like a sister. I will
Does she
always love
know
her like a
that
sister.
you have a new best friend who's your stalker, who's now your best friend, who's outside the door probably right now?
Who?
Checking us out. Paige!
Paige, we love
Yeah,
Paige.
it doesn't count.
Oh, that's right.
I feel very
Oh,
privileged.
my God.
We got Paige's Christmas card this
Yes.
year.
Ooh, me too. Did you put it in the spot?
We did.
Yes.
Did. But there was so many women come to this boutique. So,
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I get it.
unless she
Yeah,
wants
but
to swing
Paige
that
is
way.
special. I can't post her up there because all the other bitches are going to get really, really pissed.
Oh my God. I love
And we
Paige.
got Phaedra. I mean, there's so many different
Yeah,
ones.
yeah.
It's
We
a
got
whole
Phaedra to
album.
send us a
Okay,
card.
send
That
us a
was
whole
great.
album.
I have to get, so next year.
There was a whole album. It kept unfolding and unfolding. I'm like, I don't need every single month. It's like a calendar. I said, all you got to do is put a calendar at the
Oh my
bottom
God,
of it.
I love it. It's such a big deal, though. I love a good
It's
Christmas
so
card.
nice.
Yeah, yeah.
We do our Christmas cards and then we send it out via, email.
Yeah, yeah.
Email.
And it's like a whole blast and a collage throughout the entire
It's a
year.
little video.
There's
It's like a whole,
video and-
That's a good
and
idea.
put it all
And
together.
we include all the friends that we're sending it to in the video itself.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it takes a year to put it together.
I know, seriously.
Yeah,
You
so we
start
got to
now.
come to a party so
Oh
we
my
can
God.
take a picture.
Oh my God, seriously. It's like
You have to
such
be
hard work,
included.
right?
Yeah. I do want to ask, since we were talking about Brandi, do you believe the sexual assault stuff? that
I'm not going
she-
to comment on any of
Because
it.
I know Brandi, and I just
I would
think
have
she's
loved
fun.
her. You know what? I would have loved for her to grab my pussy. If that's what it was, grab away, Brandi, please.
I mean, can we just talk about on my girls trip with
Oh, what
Sonja?
happened?
Yeah.
No, we were naked the whole time.
You are, right?
I was like,
Touchy-feely,
Sonja's
having
like-
fun.
Sonja's dry
She likes
humping me,
getting
and, like, It's like,
naked.
it's just like, it's.
Did she turn on the shower and do all that shower stuff too? Because she loves that shit.
Oh my God. No, we were just in the pool and like
Yeah.
I saw that girl's vagina so many freaking times.
Yeah.
I started
Many
calling
have,
it,
but
yeah, totally. I started
Yeah.
calling it a pretty kitty.
A pretty kitty.
We're in the van. We're in the van, and we're sitting across from each
Yeah.
other. And she was like, blah, blah, like, once or twice. And then it happened again. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I actually looked. I was like looking, and I was like, girl, like, I was like, you got a really pretty kitty.
Nice and plumpy.
And I was like, I get it. Like all her guys.
If
I
it's
was like,
that pretty,
okay.
show it off.
But
And then, like, so the rest of the show, everybody's like, pretty kitty, pretty kitty.
yeah,
pretty
but
kitty.
then
That's
Luann ended up
hilarious.
with the chef. How
I
many
know.
of them wanted the chef?
It was like no one knew the chef was even a contender. It was like, it was funny because the way they edited it at the end, you see these little snippets of like,
Yeah, yeah.
because they knew how it ended, so they were trying, they
were
teased
trying
it,
to
but no one
tease it.
caught on.
But wait
Yeah,
a
yeah.
minute, isn't the guy that was at Dorinda's house?
No, that's the
suing-
butler.
Yeah, the
That's a
butler's
different
suing
show.
because,
That's
because
such-
they took a shirt off and then this one gets laid.
I know. I don't know what the deal
Did
is.
she
Like
charge?
the New York girls.
Did one of them charge? I mean,
The New York girls are so different. I think we're just OG chill. Like
Yeah.
we all have this great understanding.
Life is beautiful.
Life is beautiful,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's just a
You
want to
live a little bit. You don't want all this
Was
other
RHONY
stuff.
RHONY was the second one, right? No,
Yeah.
it was ROTC, Orange
OC
County,
Yeah, I think so.
Beverly Hills,
Yeah.
and then New York?
No, it was New York, and then it
Was
was,
it?
No.
Beverly.
Oh.
New Jersey, and then it was Beverly Hills.
Oh, you think so? I don't
Yeah.
remember that part.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
New York, New Jersey,
Interesting.
and then Beverly
Okay.
Hills. Right.
So it would be Vicky, Ramona, Teresa,
Yeah.
Yes.
and
And
Yeah.
Kyle, which is still on.
Oh, Kyle, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Which
Oh,
is
yeah, yeah.
Hills
That's
one.
right.
Okay,
Beverly
there
Hills
you go.
Housewives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's the only original from the Beverly Hills
And
franchise.
then probably Nene. Then maybe Atlanta came after that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Atlanta.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
After Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you
after
think?
Beverly
Do you
Hills.
think it's? And I
Don't
know,
we
I
need a
love-
boys one?
Maybe.
I think so.
Don't we need
Ooh,
like
that'd
the
be kinda
boys
cool.
one?
Right.
Like I really think Adrian
but it's a
put it out
whole
there.
another franchise. That's like I think
Totally.
you name it something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a boy version
Yeah,
of the
Beverly
girl
Hills
version.
bitches.
Yeah.
But it needs to be because you need it everywhere.
Right.
You have the New York version. You
Yeah.
have the right.
Honey, there's so
Absolutely.
many bitches out there, girl.
know.
Call me.
I know.
I'm available. I'm looking for another gig.
Oh my God, you don't need another gig.
Oh my God, Paul!
Please
Really?
don't. don't. I don't know how you do it.
Okay, are you seriously an Elvis fangirl?
Yes.
Oh my
Because I was
does that
reading
even
stuff
mean? Of
about this
course.
and like
Yeah.
what? Okay, because
Priscilla's
she's really
great,
not,
by the way. Have you ever met her? She's a
No.
sweetheart.
No.
Oh, she's a sweetheart.
I heard. I know.
Yeah, she's a
She
sweetheart.
loves
And
Snow
she's
White.
like around, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
isn't
she loves
Beverly,
Snow
Is she
White.
Beverly Hills? Where does she live?
She's,
Calabasas.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah, she's your neighbor.
Oh my God! Take Paige with you. Paige will hook you up.
Paige is a
She knows
stalker.
everybody. Yeah.
yeah.
I do want to call her out though. She
Why?
canceled on us in Vegas.
Oh yeah,
What
Paige.
for BravoCon?
Well, when
We were at
to
BravoCon. She
dinner,
invited us
goes,
to dinner.
Come, let's go to dinner. And then she goes, "Oh, I'm too tired. I'm gonna go home." I'm like,
After
"Bitch,
we got in
I think you
Uber,
found somebody
schlepped our
else."
way.
I'm like, I'm around the corner. I'm about to fucking park the car. There's like a stadium full of people. I can't get around.
We had
that
just finished our
easy.
podcast with Melissa Rivers,
Yeah.
and so
Oh,
we
that's
were.
cool.
She
Yeah,
just canceled me right outside
I
the
couldn't
door.
believe
I'm
that.
like, really,
I'm
Paige?
sorry.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed.
she's fun though, right? To hang out with
Yeah,
Paige.
She's so awesome. It's like really fun when you can meet a new friend at my age.
So are you?
Do you know what I'm saying? I'm being serious. Like,
Sure, right.
it's
Amazing,
like,
though.
you don't let a lot of people in. And
Sure.
then, I haven't lived here that long. So it's like nice
Yeah.
to meet new people. And she's like, her freaking energy is awesome.
She's
Are you her wing woman when you go out?
Yeah. I mean, like, we've been out a couple times. So we went to Jeff's party.
Yep.
And then,
in Vegas.
no, here, remember?
here.
No, Hollywood House Lift. We
Yeah.
saw her
Oh,
there.
Oh,
my
yeah,
God.
I forgot.
Yeah, which was so fun.
Well, I-
So
That
we,
was
like,
fun.
parties
did our
every day.
glam together and like hung out and at dinner.
love
it was
it.
nice. It was fun.
Yeah.
And I actually told her that night, I think you were there.
Yeah.
I said, how is it that not one normal straight person can see the beauty that you are and that you should be with? I mean,
Yeah.
she's like royalty. I
know.
mean, there's got to be
Yeah.
a king or a prince out there
I know.
that needs to just, because she will elevate their profile.
Yeah.
100%.
So good.
Yeah.
I try that every day, but I mean, how could you? Like, the man's
Well.
gorgeous, the man's smart, the man's beautiful. I beg him not to divorce me.
Oh my God, stop.
Never will I. Babe, we're gonna need to do some hot topics, or you like to call them HAUTE topics. So we have a couple subjects.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I'll bring
Get
one up.
ready
Paul
for
will bring
this.
one up. I'm going to
Okay.
get your opinion on it. I'll do the first one. Matthew Perry's death, where they discovered it was ketamine. What do you think about that?
I don't.
It's sad, right?
I don't think about it.
It's sad though, isn't it?
I
Do you think that fame can sometimes get to people and they like he had everything?
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, he was sick. I mean, he had a
He had an
disease.
issue.
Yeah. I just think it's like this whole, I think it's more of the issue is more of the jacuzzi thing. How many of these people have passed in jacuzzis? Like, I don't think he
Well,
would have. He maybe
right.
not.
Think
Maybe
of-
he wouldn't have. Didn't he fall asleep?
Yeah, in the
So he
jacuzzi.
drowned.
So did
I have more of an issue.
Aaron Carter.
The topic is the jacuzzi, the hot
Yeah.
tub.
Do you know what? That's true. Aaron Carter, Bobby,
Houston.
Christina.
What about
Whitney
her mom?
Houston.
Whitney
Right.
Houston
Yeah.
down the street. At
But what can you do?
Hilton.
How do you really?
Don't
Because
take
your
your stuff
body-
and lay in bed. Don't.
Lay in
don't
bed.
Exactly.
don't
But
take
then you
baths. Or why don't we shower? No more baths. If you need
Well,
to
you
get
know what?
clean.
Our best friend was Anna Nicole.
Right.
And people often ask, and they say, how could you not be able to help her?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to get help.
Yeah.
Because they have to want
Yeah.
to receive the help.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest problem.
Yeah, totally.
And I just wish we could be there
I know.
and for everybody.
Yeah.
But it hurts to see someone who has so much life to live.
Oh my gosh, 100%.
That's in his cut short.
So
Right.
sad. And he was
That
doing
becomes
so
hard.
much good work too.
Yeah.
Like
I
he was really
know.
helping people. But that's the whole conversation with Elvis as well, going back to the king.
Yep.
I mean, that's like you're looking at all these documentaries now. I saw one that popped up on TV the other day, and it was like his Memphis Mafia, all of his crew were like, we tried.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
you couldn't. He was like larger than life, and he like shot them down and was like, I don't have a problem, blah, blah, blah. And you've got all these people around you.
It's true.
Yes, people. So sad.
But we weren't yes people for Anna Nicole.
I
but
don't
you
mean
can't.
that. I mean,
but
saying-
you can't.
Doesn't matter, but you
when
can't.
they
Yeah.
want on that trajectory and that, the
Yeah.
trajectory, you can't take them away from
No,
it if
I
that's
know.
what they're gonna do.
Yeah, I know. It's
And
really hard.
and it's so sad.
It is. It's very, very sad.
You got one, babe.
Oh, I do?
You do. We have three.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
RHO Salt Lake City. But you don't watch Salt Lake
No,
City.
it's like one of the only way. What's the question? Let's see.
Monica Garcia. Did we want her back?
I don't know who that one is. Tell me, you got to
She's
break
the
it down.
one that wants
All the fraud. She's being sued by everyone under all these different names.
So here's the story about
Wait,
Monica.
what is she? Is she brunette?
Brunette.
Yes.
So she's
She's
the
not the
one
preacher.
that got
No.
She's the one that got on the show, and her mother.
She trashes her mother nonstop.
Her mother wanted to be on the show.
Yeah.
And when she did her interview, she told her mother, "Oh my God, I just finished my last interview. I don't know if I'm gonna get it or not."
Yeah.
She goes, "Let me pray. Let's pray." Well, if you don't get it, please God, make it me. Let it be me.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of mother she's got. So, and
Yeah.
she's like Jekyll and Hyde. So she says one thing and she's like the sweetest person to you. And 3 seconds later, she's got daggers in her eyes and she's throwing you under the bus.
But
I
she's
mean,
also
you gotta
got
know she's
different.
crazy.
But it's also been revealed that she's got different aliases, being sued by everyone.
Yeah.
Under different
but she
names.
doesn't sue anybody, but she's suing half the cast.
Do you?
She goes, I don't sue anybody, but they're like, you're suing me,
Why?
you're
Like, it
suing
just
me, you're
gives
suing me.
goosebumps. Like, who wants to watch the shows like this? It's like freaking me out. It's like you don't want
But
it to
here's
be so
the thing.
heavy.
I know.
Just like earlier, I think people think that you have to be
Yes.
that person. And I think the new Housewives of New York City,
Yeah, are
I think
great.
I love it for the
Yes,
fact that they're
100%.
just being authentic and they're
Yes,
like, you know
yes.
what? I like to suck dick. I'm going to suck dick.
But they're authentically fabulous and
Yeah.
they're living their
They're
authentic,
living their life.
real lives. Like
Yes.
she is a publicist. This one
Yeah.
is a realtor. This one is a housewife. This one is whatever it is. I do.
Down and out in Beverly Hills, I pretend to be a designer.
Oh, shut up,
I mean,
bitch.
that's
You
all
are.
I do. I have nothing else to offer.
But that's what I like, that they are living authentic, because I think a lot of these housewives shows have become very like you can't hide your shit if you're going to go on these shows.
No.
You really can't.
No, you know,
You-
those
I-
bitches will
honestly.
call you out.
Yeah.
They
totally.
will call you
Yeah.
out. And I don't like that. And I don't know why you want to put down another person's misfortune or another person's downfall.
Yeah.
Something happened in their life
Yeah.
and it was something that they dealt with.
Yeah.
Why do you want to bring it
Right.
up and make it the highlight
Yeah.
of a conversation?
Especially in my situation where, again, whatever it was, I've clearly worked through it. I'm clearly very
Yeah, why do you
happy,
wanna-
and
Yeah.
I'm clearly living my best life. And for them to just continuously, you know,
I just don't think that's
bring it up.
really nice to a friendship.
Or what about just not at a dinner table? What about just one-on-one
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
coffee at breakfast, or we're on a walk, or we're at the beach, or you know what I'm saying? Like
Or
maybe
say,
it's
you
like
know what?
more personal and private, and like,
I agree.
or why doesn't the narrative say, hey, haven't seen you in 10 years. It looks like things are great. I just want you to know I was thinking about
Yes.
you. Like,
Yeah.
you know
or
what I mean?
tell me how you worked it out because
Yeah.
I have a friend that I want to be
100%.
able
Yes,
to
yes.
support and
Or
help.
I'm
Can I
proud
give
on
you
you.
their number?
Or-
But isn't it the producers though that are kind of pushing?
Good for you, Kristen.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
great.
If
Because
this is
guess
working
what?
out
Yeah.
for
In
you,
my situation, it didn't work out that way.
Yep.
Right? It's just so
to
like
support.
But don't you think
instead
it's the
of take it
producers
down.
though that are pushing
100%.
and
But it's
building
also
that?
hindsight. Like when I was in it, I was just on defense. And here's the thing. Can you imagine for me going into this, you sign on the dotted line and I knew it was coming. The whole
Yeah.
time I was there, I was like, when's it coming?
When is it
Just
coming?
waiting.
And you're like, I
You're
have
like a
my
pins and
armor up.
needles.
And
Yeah.
I was ready. So it was like, bring it. Like I'm no fool. Like
Could that be the reason why the friendships and the relationships don't really solidify the way they should because the camera's on, so they're pretending to be something that they're not, or they think that that's what they have to do instead of being genuine, like
I-
Brandi would be with you when you guys
Oh,
hung out.
Brandi is
If
who you
Brandi would
see.
call you
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
Brandi would also say, you know what,
Yeah.
good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It-
do
it
have to say,
sucked for me,
can I tell
but-
you, Brandi was like, she watched it and she was very like,
Vocal.
but she was so sad for me. She's
Yeah.
like, Kristen,
Yeah.
that's horrible. I cannot believe that
Yeah.
they did that to you. Those, you know, like, and she,
Well,
as
because
my
she's
good
gone
friend,
through it. How many
Yep.
people have slept with her husband?
Yeah.
And then she's
No,
like, she
but
has to
she-
find
but-
out. And then they were like friending her. I'm like, what the fuck?
she also went through it with me 10 years ago.
Oh.
Is
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
point.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
she's
yeah.
actually my real friend
Yeah.
off camera.
Of course.
And so she was just like, holy shit, Kristen. Like she came from a place of like, I'm so sorry. Like we all
Yeah.
knew it was going to get brought up, but it was just like,
The way
you know,
I feel
But
like
the way they brought it up
Yeah.
was just an attack.
yeah.
That
I
never
feel like-
stopped.
You're like, what? I'm like sitting there going like, oh my God, what do you want me to say? Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it? Like what?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, come on. You guys don't even know the whole story.
I think
It's
you
like,
handled it with such grace and
oh,
elegance.
appreciate
I
that.
do.
Thank
And
you.
the
agree with
fact
that.
that I'm glad that you didn't recognize how intense it was
Yeah.
or how the camera picked up things
Yeah.
that you don't normally get to notice because
Yeah.
you're sitting there for 8 hours
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
dinner
yeah,
that
completely.
was never ending. And then
Yeah.
all
Yep.
of a sudden, the 2 minutes they got out of that 8-hour dinner was just you being bad.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
all
No,
that
totally.
you remember from the whole thing. You're like, there was so many other conversations we had at the dinner
my
table,
God.
and I thought
Yeah.
they were my friends,
Right.
but this is the one that's highlighted.
And
Yeah.
like a little behind the scenes situation here.
Yep.
Full on, this is like Housewife 101. We're having a normal conversation.
Yep.
I get up. Naturally, I had to go pee. Get
Sure.
up,
Yeah, of
go
course.
use the bathroom. I sat back down. Boom.
Boom. There it
That's
goes.
when it happened. So it was like
Yeah.
they like reconvened.
Sure.
And it was like, that's like, it's just like,
It was like
101.
new
Yeah.
It's like
All the
textbook,
bitches
like,
got together.
Chapter 4, girl goes
Do
up to
not
the bathroom.
leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't ever
Rule
get
of
100%.
thumb, wear a diaper.
I was gonna say, depends all day.
Hello?
Depends all day at
I know
those
that
dinners.
now. If there's a next time, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be going like this. Like I gotta pee so
So
bad.
when you're
but
wearing-
I'm not getting up.
So when you're wearing an unpierced dress, we know you're wearing like a diaper underneath it. It's
God.
like a Taylor Swift concert.
Hello?
That they're wearing diapers.
Oh my God.
You
That's,
don't have to go to
I'm
the
sorry. I could
bathroom.
not do that though.
Did people do that? That's
Yes.
amazing.
I was like,
Because you gotta go to the bathroom and it's like 5 hours
Seriously.
away and you don't
Oh
want to
my
miss
God.
anything.
That's
Plus it's
amazing.
all
I know.
skanky in
I could
there. and
not.
People,
Yeah.
you know, doing
No way.
things. It's
Although
like,
I bet you
forget
there's
it.
nobody in the bathroom because nobody wants to get up. So
I-
maybe there's no line.
True.
It's the only time ever there's no line. Oh my God, that's so
Exactly.
funny.
Is there anything from Real Housewife Ultimate Girls Trip that didn't make it in the cut that you're like, damn, why didn't that make it in the show?
We had a
Yeah.
whole dinner. They did a little cutback. So it's funny because I watched maybe the last episode and I was like, why is Sonja like, she was really snippy with me.
Oh.
And I saw it, but I guess nobody else did. And it's funny because the night before we got into an argument about her townhouse. And
Oh.
they didn't air that dinner.
Hello Kitty.
What's wrong? Wait,
had
what? An argument about her
Pretty
townhouse?
Kitty.
Meaning
Yes. Meaning like
Pretty
the
Kitty was
conver-
out with claws.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh.
So meaning like the townhouse came up at this dinner.
'Kay.
And I'm sitting there having my wine, eating my sushi, and I was like, it was like a record. I was like,
Yeah.
did you just talk about that townhouse? And she goes, yeah, but blah, blah, blah. And I was like, girl, you said that whole thing you just said, you said 10 years ago. And then she's like, no, but da-da. I was like, you said that too. And it was like, if they could rewind the tape back, this was the same conversation that I left off with these women with. And I
Yeah.
was like,
And that's
how?
where they picked it up.
And I was like, how are you still having the same conversation about selling this damn townhouse 10 years later?
Yeah.
And then, she was like, oh my God, you're so disrespectful and you don't know anything about my townhouse and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, girl, I know that you keep saying, I don't get it. Like,
You
I just-
repeated it multiple times. Oh, we heard
But
it.
like, oh my God, move on with the damn townhouse.
Now that
Stop.
the girls trip is over and you're in LA, if you get to pick any franchise to go back to, RHONY, OC, or Beverly Hills,
Like, it doesn't matter, like, because that I live here.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
I would do New York.
again?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
because
Okay.
she's in New York.
I mean, if it was like
She knows all the
logistics, didn't
streets
matter,
in New
kids
York.
didn't matter. Like,
Do you like the girls that are on the cast they have
yes.
now?
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I love the cast
do?
they have now.
Okay.
They're great.
Yeah.
It would be great if you were with that new cast.
I don't know. They don't. I think.
Andy, are you listening?
Oh my God. No, I think that they have. I think I'm excited to see what happens with those women because I think they were just getting started. Like,
Yeah.
they just got the right amount of spice, don't you think?
I think
The
so.
last couple-
Pretty,
it
there's a
got,
couple of pretty kitties coming out.
they
but it
did.
got spicy at the end.
Yes.
You're like, all right, here we go. And it wasn't like nasty spicy.
Yeah.
It was like New York OG, just the right amount. It wasn't below the belt. It was like
Yeah.
they got feisty. Like
Yeah.
what I think that we like to see because I'm the super fan. Remember?
Yes.
I like to see it. You know what I think the perfect storm of these shows are? Women who are spending all their damn time together,
Yep.
5, 6, 7 days a week for 4 or 5 months. You just
Oh.
get annoyed. You're just annoying the hell out of me.
That's like
I don't
Big
like
Brother.
that color on you.
Yes.
You're this, you're that,
Exactly.
you're that. And it's
Yeah.
In the bathroom too long. That makeup, that eyeliner is not going to get any
and
better.
it's like a storm
Yeah.
of like bah, but it's not
Yeah.
like horrific,
Yeah.
deep,
Yeah.
dirty. Blah. It's like it's
you
not
don't
heavy.
hit the family.
It's
You don't hurt
surface.
the kids.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's the same stuff that's bothering the people watching, by the way.
Yeah.
They're also annoyed that you're in the bathroom too long. They're also annoyed that you're
That
you know-
eyeliner shifted every single time you
Yes!
come out, and
but,
you're like,
but you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, and I think that's what's great about New York and about the women really knowing each other. And I think that was great about the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it was fun to get to know new people. Yes, I hear you. Like, I hear you, meaning the fans out there.
Sure.
I'm speaking for them because that's my new voice.
of course you're
Super fan.
You're a super fan.
You have it. Oh my God.
Super fan.
You're dying. I'm kind of embracing my whole super fandom.
I love
I'm
it.
Like, I was like, maybe
You've
this
got a
isn't the next-
stalker, Paige Davis. Hello.
I know, right?
That is super fan.
But you know what I'm
That's funny.
saying. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah, of
think
course.
I feel like they've just gotten to the surface of it. And I think we're going to love them more and more.
I think the thing I liked about them is, yes, they were a little catty, but they weren't nasty.
100%.
And that's what I liked.
Yes.
I mean, Uba and him did
we did a walk-off in Vegas.
Oh, I did.
Uba and I, a runway walk-off.
She's so
Beautiful.
fabulous.
Love fucking Uba.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
I've always wanted to be tall like you.
Oh my gosh.
If there's one thing I've ever wanted was to
Height.
be tall like this. Yeah, I swear to God, I have a beautiful life.
I could take you to China and we could stretch you.
No, Jesus.
They do that.
I don't even think that's gonna work because those people don't have enough tools for my
How
ass.
tall are you, Kristen?
5'10".
Yeah.
And a half.
Perfect model height.
Yeah.
Perfect model height.
Can I say that my husband is 6'2" and a half?
Thank you.
He used to say 6'2". I said, babe, we've measured you. That half
Yes,
matters.
that half
love
matters.
it. That half
Absolutely.
matters.
6'2" and a half. Be proud of the 6'2" and a half.
Fine,
you
I'm
are.
5'10" and a half.
I have one last question. I have one last question before we go to runway rundown, and you're gonna love
that's
runway
gonna be
rundown.
great.
What you said you're super because she's a super fan. Everyone,
And
Thank you, Kelly, for that label.
I know we love
I'm gonna
her.
run with it.
What is your favorite franchise to watch?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is Paris in Love. I just started
Really?
watching that. I just finished watching that.
Did you like that?
I loved it. Like, I feel like where has Paris been for the last 10 years? I mean, you know, she's
Yeah,
busy,
yeah.
obviously. I liked watching
making
it.
other colognes and perfumes.
Seriously.
They
But
had a launch at the
I
store.
like watching these reality shows where it's like the person's got like the right mix of like the work, love. I like when they're
Balance.
busy.
Yeah.
I somehow leave watching a show like that, and I get off the couch and I'm like, damn, I got to get out there. And it kind of motivates me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, I might.
You're
start
like,
a
I'm going to make
perfume
dinner for
brand.
my husband.
Totally.
Where's the puppy? The kids get picked up.
Seriously.
I'm putting on that teddy I didn't use for a while.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna freaking go, run the world.
And then when
business.
my problem becomes when I look at the bank account, then I get an alert that says, you're kind of short. So again, and I'm thinking to myself, fuck, I guess Paris doesn't have to worry about that. So
Yeah.
she doesn't have to worry
She works
about
hard,
having to
though.
She
do
does.
her hustle.
I mean, she
Like,
works
they said something.
hard.
She has like 60 fragrances or something.
I mean,
like, it's
you watch the
insane.
show and you're like, you can't make that up. She's not doing frivolous stuff. She's like
Yeah.
on the cover of a magazine, and then she's doing that. Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you, Paul.
She's doing like.
But I will say, and I love Paris Hilton, but she is kind of, I thought Candy Spelling was the world's richest hoarder, but I think Paris
That
Hilton
was
is number 2.
Interesting. Yeah, but she can. I mean, that's fine because it's cool stuff. It's
It
not
is
like
cool
collectible
stuff.
But
keepsake.
Paris has made an impact. She's made
Yeah.
2
Oh my
billionaires.
God.
I mean, Nicole Richie and Kim K. She made them who they
Yeah,
are.
yeah, yeah.
Pretty
Not
much.
that they weren't going to be
Yeah.
able to do it on their own,
Yeah.
but the platform that
Yeah.
she provided was
Oh my-
amazing.
Never
Yeah.
mind, like I'm not. You see those Hilton commercials, and you're like, oh, maybe I'll stay there next time I'm in
Yeah.
San Diego or whatever.
You know,
Yep.
they haven't owned the Hiltons for I don't know how many years.
Yeah, but they own a piece of it. I mean,
Yeah.
No, they got to pay out.
they get checks.
Okay.
Yeah, they get checked.
But I love that she's also doing stuff with Hilton Hotels.
Do you think is she really in love with this guy, Carter?
I think she is.
I think so, right?
I don't know her. I don't know him, but I'm saying it seems like it.
Yeah.
And he's like lovely and patient with her. And like he's her super fan the way that a husband should be for his wife.
So we met him because he used to
Seriously,
have
don't you think?
he used to have Vive.
Okay.
And Vive was in our same building many,
okay, I
many
don't know
years
what he
ago.
is. What's
We
that?
went to their Christmas party and
Oh,
met
cool.
him years ago.
He
which
actually
was
told me
interesting.
off because I parked a G-Wagon and he said, get that fuck, I can't open my door.
That is
I
true. He
said,
couldn't
"Excuse
open his
me,
Tesla."
I'm within my lines.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
the problem?
Oh my God. I can't stand that when you're in your lines. And I will tell people.
I'm like, I'm within
I'm
my
like,
lines.
there's an
What am I
inch
supposed
there
to do?
and there's 3 there.
If you
We
can't
work
get
it
out, open up your fucking window. It's a Tesla. Get out of the
Yeah.
hood.
And I'm telling Paul, I'm like,
Whatever.
Get out
Paul,
of the frunk.
I didn't even know who he was.
he didn't
I'm
know
like,
he was the owner of Vive. And I'm like, Paul, you're telling off my neighbor.
So
like, I have
what?
to share an office with this guy.
I can't help it if you're late and you want to just fling the door open. And because it's got bumpers on the side, he tried to dent the car, but it wouldn't work because then the Tesla's like Mickey Mouse. And then the G-Wagon's like sturdy. And I parked it really nice. I mean,
my
I
God.
parked
Yes.
it good.
Yeah.
And then he just flung the door open and came right crashing back in his face.
Oh my God.
And I had just gotten
But
there
I
like
think-
once
But
I
when
think-
was this? A while ago.
That was like
yeah, years ago.
They weren't married.
10 years
No.
ago. It was before he even
Oh.
met
Yeah.
Paris.
Yeah.
Wow.
Years ago when I
Before
had
he
my
sold
office.
the company for $10 million.
Yeah. They had a Christmas. It was funny. A Christmas party we went to, really fun. But I mean, I think Paris has tamed him because he's not. He's much nicer now. I think.
Oh, okay.
than-
Yeah,
than
probably.
when we knew him.
Well, he's a father.
I know.
You know.
2 kids now. You ready for your coffee reading?
As ready as I can be.
All right, babe.
She's been ready for 5 hours.
You're having fun with us, right?
Yeah.
Explain the coffee read, how it works, because for our listeners that are listening for the first time.
What do you mean explain it? You drink it, you blow, sip, drink, and then
Yep.
I read it for you. And all your intentions are in it.
Yeah.
So whatever you had in your mind is going to be in there.
You should have told me that before.
I did. It's going to be cool. I'm excited for you.
But you read this part of that.
The
Oh, you read
grinds.
that.
Both, but
I
grinds
read all
usually.
of it.
Yeah.
I've been watching that. I've been
It's
watching.
very cool. So Paul has picked up
But
Kristen's cup.
the side that you drank from is the side that Patrik's face.
Yeah.
And then the other side that you poured
right.
it out is the opposite side. So what I do is I break it down
No, you're
into
supposed
different
to.
components.
Okay.
Now I can tell you one thing, that your home, you're redoing something at the home for sure, because there's something that you want to change so bad that you've been wanting to change for a long time. And now you're like, what the fuck? I don't give a shit. I'm doing it and there's no stopping me.
That's crazy.
What's that?
Because
Oh
it's
my
correct.
God. I want to move.
Yeah.
And it just, I might
You can't
start
stand it
crying
anymore.
oddly. This is so
You
bizarre.
You can't stand it anymore. It's like you got to do
All of
it.
it over the weekend. It's
Wow.
like I just started to feel that way again because we're renting,
Uh-huh.
and I'm just like, I think it might be time, to move.
Would you move
gotta
in
know.
the same area?
Yeah,
Calabasas?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, that is like. Can I just tell you, for everybody who's listening at home, you can't even make this stuff up because nobody knows what you just said.
Yeah. Well, the cup
Your cup does.
The cup does.
That is so weird.
Right?
Oh my God.
He's got a talent.
In your heart, you actually know what you want to do. Like, you know where you want to go. You know that you want, like, you're so settled and you're so rooted with this that that's just not going to change. Like, you're not delaying this. It's now or never. That's it.
Okay.
You're done.
That means you're moving. I love that. Go tell Josh.
I can tell you that you've been thinking about this for a while, though. So you've been holding off, and you were thinking, okay, just one more thing, and that'll happen. Let me just find a way. But no, at this time, it's going to be so good for you. And I don't even know if you're just going to move or you're going to build.
Interesting.
There's some specific things that you're asking for that you really want this time.
Wow.
You're like, I can have it this time. I
Yeah.
want it.
You can build in Beverly Hills and become a Beverly Hills house cast.
Nobody lives in Beverly Hills. We are in Beverly Hills. All the other ones are just
None of the
adjacent.
housewives live in Beverly Hills.
Adjacent.
Yeah,
That's
they're
true.
just adjacent.
BHA.
Okay, so there's a project that you were doing that you're very upset about. Something that you were so gung-ho about. You got excited, you did it, you wanted to see how it was going to turn out, but then you were disappointed because now there's 2 more things that you're going to be doing. And you're having this linger in the back of your head thinking, I don't want to repeat. I'm nervous. I'm thinking, well, is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? These 2 different projects that you've got, one you don't know about. That's going to be surprisingly from a place where you least expected and from a person that you didn't even think saw you or heard you. Is going to
Ooh.
be calling on you, going, and it's not like modeling. It's what you do all day long.
Yeah.
It's something other than that, and all of a sudden you're going to go, oh, well, this is cool. I'm excited, but you're going to be hesitant. Don't be.
Wow.
You're going to be nervous at. Don't be. Whatever they tell you, whatever the contract is, don't even scrutinize it. Sign it, send it back immediately.
Wow.
Because there's something in it for you that you least expected, and it's going to put you on a path where you didn't even know that this was something that you could really cultivate and establish for yourself. And all of a sudden, it's going to be one of those moments that you're like, the light bulb that goes on, and you're like, I was thinking when this was going to happen. And that's your ticket. That's your golden ticket. Don't hesitate.
I
Don't
love
ask
that.
for the money. Don't
Right. Get it.
whatever they send
Yeah.
you, when they send you the email, it's like, yes,
Right.
sent back.
I love that.
And that's happening really, really soon. And I'm telling you, it's from a source where you least expected. And it's going to be something that has to do with a passion of yours. So I don't know, what's your passion? You've got a passion of some sort that has to do with that you want to do. It's not like, oh, I'm going to get the next cover of a magazine.
Yeah.
All of those things are standard, but there's some things that you have a passion for that you want to do that you've been thinking about. What's that?
I don't even know if I want to say it out loud.
Oh, why? Because that's the only way it's going to
I saw in your expression though that you knew what he's talking
the
about.
first thing I think about is like I would love to do, like, I know we joke about hosting, but like some, like, not this, but something, and I'd love to be like a spokesperson for someone, like
Spokesperson.
do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or like a QVC HSN. Like I like the chatting, but I also like actual feeling passionate about a product, whatever that is. Like whether
But you haven't done anything like that before.
I did QVC for a minute for eBoost for Josh's product, but it was also virtual over COVID. But it gave me just the right taste, and I had to get certified. So that was like the tip of the iceberg.
Okay.
When you get this, you're going to be so static. It's almost as if it's your calling. It's something that you've wanted to do, but you just never.
I could see you doing hosting totally 100%. I could see
and
you
if
doing
that's
that.
what it is, you're going to get it from an unexpected source. So somewhere along the lines, you're going to get a phone call, email. I don't know how this stuff happens anymore. That is going to be like,
Carrier pigeon.
oh, you're just walking around. Yeah, maybe. You're walking around, and next thing you know, they're like, oh, you'd be perfect for it. Why don't you come in? And you're like, who was that man?
Yeah. Okay.
What did they just offer me?
Wow.
How did they even know?
Wow. God, this is amazing. So you're saying like, it's coming. Don't be hesitant.
Do not
Because
hesitate.
it's going to be shocking. Like you're going to be
just take it.
yeah.
Just
I can't wait
take
till you
it.
tell me what it, I know it's going to come up and you'll be like, what?
But but the other project that you know about that you've been wanting to do that hasn't really picked up steam, for whatever reason, you're wondering, well, wait a minute, why did I get into this to begin with? I thought this could be fun. And I thought this could be something that I could, like it'd be like I could dabble in.
Yeah.
It's not working out.
Okay.
For whatever reason, you seem to be holding an aspect of yourself back. And I don't know what that part is, because it's in the dark and it's something from the past, something that happened years ago, that when you're faced with it now, you're reconsidering where you would never before.
This podcast is brought to you by Herdat Media and American Media Television. Executive producers are Patrik Simpson, Pol Atteu, and Pat Safford. Produced by Jordan Hill and Sarah Silicula. Shooting and editing by Jordan Hill. Music by Digital Camo. Artwork by Dominique Demetz. And hosted by Pol Atteu, Patrik Simpson, and Little Snow White 90210. Remember to follow at Pol Atteu and at Patrik Simpson and at Snow White 90210, and watch Gown and Out in Beverly Hills on Prime Video. And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast so you never miss an episode.